Hi everybody, it is Quinn for the win. I am introducing a new series. I put this on the stories a little bit ago because I had just watched this show on Netflix. You know, a family member left it on and I just happened to watch it and I was like, I know this is going to be very uncomfortable or a little triggering for me because I lived by a lot of what was said in this show. And this show is Marriage at First Sight. Marriage at First Sight on Netflix, everybody, where basically strangers are being paired up to walk down the aisle by matchmakers, right? Matchmakers are pairing these strangers up, believing that they have enough compatibility and is an experiment to meet their person that they're going to partner up with by getting married to them at first sight. So you can imagine how problematic, risky this is, okay? And this new series is going to be called Problematic Codependent Messages because there's so much that I have heard through movies, through TV, through what people are saying. And yes, it's a little triggering for me, it goes against with like what I believe today. And I used to live by all these things, all this programming in my head. So it is very personal for me. So this is going to be a passionate talk. And so anyways, there's this scene where a gentleman is getting advice from his parents and they're saying how it's hard work. And so we're going to talk about that. It's going to be hard work. What kind of hard are you talking about? Because there's many reasons why it's hard, leading to codependency, leading to unhealthy behavior in the relationship. Thus why there's arguments, thus why there is tension, and thus why it leads to divorce, a breakup, a separation, and saying, peace out. Okay? So what makes it hard? And I'll talk about a different hard that's more on the healthier side, where we are returning back to our own growth, our own self-love journey, our own healing, so that we can grow and become more free and finally arrive more to a place where we feel more and more at peace with ourselves and we're experiencing consistent happiness, joy, all of that. So yeah, let's get into the problematic messages around it's going to be hard work. Are you talking about it's going to be hard work because you're going to have to put up with behaviors that you don't want to? Meaning to make this relationship work, no matter how toxic or unhealthy it gets, it's hard work. So meaning, this is normal. I need to stay in this to suffer because it's just going to be hard work and I just need to endure it and I just need to accept that this is just how it's going to be. That is very problematic because it goes against having healthy boundaries. It goes against having deal breakers, and it goes against having peace, having your own personal peace. It goes against sacrificing your happiness. So let's just stay in this relationship because it's supposed to be hard. So that is my response to that. Another reason, do you say that it's going to be hard work because you're going to have to sacrifice or compromise who you are in order to please the other person to make the relationship work? Again, this is something that I experienced myself, and it's highly problematic because you are practicing self-neglect, self-abandonment, all for the sake of pleasing the other person because you believe that that's what hard looks like. It's giving up who we are, or a lot of who we are, to please each other to make this relationship work. And then nobody's happy, right? And then this is just how it's going to be. So this might be triggering for some of you watching. I am here to share the truth, my own personal truth, as a recovering codependent, being on the self-love journey since 2016. I've been in codependent relationships since I was 16, all the way until 2016, when I started my self-love journey. Of course, there were some lapses, but that is when I officially started the journey for myself. Anyway, so that's where I'm coming from. Okay, next reason. Is it hard because you don't know who you are? You do not know who you are, so you are allowing things to cross your boundary that you haven't even made up to yourself. Like you haven't had that discussion with self of what is your healthy boundary. So you know, oh, this is not okay. If this continues happening and this boundary is continue being crossed, you know that this relationship is about to end. You need to make the adjustments that you need to do to return back to self, to be in a safe space, to continue on your journey. So is it hard because you don't know yourself? So boundaries are just being crossed all the time, and we're just gonna go along with it and accept it that this is just how it's going to be because that's marriage or that's relationships. Not having deal breakers, like I mentioned before, and because you don't know yourself, you do not know what you need in order to be okay with yourself, so that you have the space to actually appreciate, accept, understand your partner, leading to a healthy, fulfilling, connecting relationship. So this is the hard. Perhaps this is the hard that people are talking about because we believe we just got to make it work no matter what. All right. Another reason, is it hard because there's deep insecurities? So now you're expecting your partner, you're expecting one another to fill in these insecurities, and that's how it's supposed to be. So now there's expectations. And when someone forgets or drops the ball on fulfilling your insecurities, there's an issue. All of a sudden, they're not a good partner because they're not there to save the day for you. They're not there to make you feel better emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially, right? So it's hard because we're insecure, perhaps. Perhaps because we're insecure. Perhaps it's because we don't have somewhat of a strong sense of self, strong boundaries, clear deal breakers, and space to actually appreciate, understand our partners. Maybe that's why it's hard, okay? Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you and straight with you here. And here is the only one reason that I found that could be hard work. Hard work meaning it's hard because you know that you are going to be challenged to work through the triggers that comes up in the relationship, knowing that it is your responsibility and you're going to have to, or you get to, I like to reframe it that way, so that you get to really let the pains come through and process it with your self-love practices to clear, to be free of it, and to decrease the chances of you bringing that tension, that baggage into the relationship. The blame, the projection, to decrease chances of that happening, because you know that these triggers are for you. These triggers are for you to heal through the pains that you have suppressed for so long. And that is what makes it hard, because you know that your inner work is about to get upgraded because you have the opportunity to get triggered in this relationship. Because I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I am not perfect. I have pains that I'm still healing through from the past. And so when it comes up, it doesn't come up as often, but when it does come up in my relationship today, it's hard because I know that here we go, going deeper into my healing work. So that type of hard where there's pain involved in healing to be free of it. That is the only one reason that I can pinpoint that relationships are hard, because we know that we're about to get upgraded on our healing, which challenges are with growth, right? When you grow, there's uncomfortability because you're about to grow in a space that's unfamiliar, and then you're good. So everybody, those are my thoughts because of the self-love journey of taking responsibility of my own healing, taking responsibility of my own pains and my own triggers, and making sure that I do not project it onto my partner, waiting for them to save me, waiting for them to do something to make my day better so that I can feel less insecure, right? That's what makes it problematic. That's going to be hard work. So we must be a certain way, do certain things that are hurting our mind, body, and spirit. So that's my gist. There's going to be more because there was so much content from the show. Marriage at First Sight. Let me know down below if you've watched it, how you agree, how you disagree, and would love to hear your thoughts. All right, to be continued. Bye.